This week's high-value mental skill is called taking action. But before I get into that, let me tell you what the outcome of my investment action so far has been in terms of the 500k challenge. We're in week 13 and we are at 1,266,722 rands and 52 cents. Now that gives us 153.34%, right? And that is based on the 500,000. Now the goal, of course, is to get to 20 million in 5 years. And the great thing is that because I'm applying the wealth creator strategy, this that I'm busy teaching to my students, is that my risk, in other words, the total amount of money that I can ever lose will be less than 100 Rand. In other words, we started with 100 Rand. Now, if you are interested in this process and this journey, then you're going to find a link in the description area below this video. That is, of course, if you want to join. Now, there are a few things that you need to know before we get into this lesson. If you came here looking for financial advice, sorry for you, you're not at the right place. I'm not a financial advisor. I simply educate people on how to apply the wealth creator strategy in order to create, to grow, to protect their own wealth. But you have to take responsibility. I can teach you, but unless you are willing to learn and to apply it in your life, it's not going to work for you. So if it's the first time that we've met, my name is Dreyer. If you love wealth creation, then I can assure you that you're at the right place, because everything from creating, protecting, growing and enjoying your wealth, you're going to find here. If this sounds like something that you'd like to subscribe to, please do so by clicking on the subscription button, that subscribe button, and then ping that bell icon to make sure that you get it while it's hot. Okay, so I think that is more than enough for this intro. So let's get ready to take action. So, do you know about the law of action? The law of action is one of the most important laws in the world. That is, of course, if you want to become a wealth creator. The law basically states that if you want to achieve anything in life, not only financial success, but health, the whole tutti, you need to do it. If you want something, you must act on it and make sure that your actions are deliberate and not passive. What do I mean with this? A lot of people wish for something. They dream about something. Because I can assure you that wishing doesn't produce any results. You have to take action. And without action, nothing, my friend, is going to happen. So if you take action, at least now there's going to be a chance that something will happen. Because as you're going to discover during this lesson, there are two types of action. In other words, different ways that you can take action, and they are going to give you different outcomes. So the first way to take action is to do what you've always done, and therefore you're going to get basically the same results or similar results that you've got. And most people are following this way of doing, right? So they invest their money by taking the money, give it to someone else, thinking that they invest their money. So we call this approach the opportunity seekers investment strategy. Now, there's good news. And the good news is that with this strategy, you don't have to take any responsibility, because you're going to give your responsibility and hand that over to the financial institution. And you give them then the right to invest on your behalf. The second way to do this is a lot more difficult, because you have to take full responsibility for your own investment actions. And people do not want to do this because we are conditioned to think that, but we can't do it, you know. So this way is called the Wealth Creators Investment Strategy. And it is where you will learn the skills on how to create, to protect, and to grow your own investments. And the beauty about this is, what a lot of people don't understand is, we're not born with skills. We have to learn these skills. And all skills are teachable and trainable on condition that you are willing to put in the time and the effort to learn this. So the result between these two strategies are huge. It's massive. So perhaps let's dive a little bit deeper into each one of these strategies. So the first strategy, as I've said, is the opportunity seekers investment strategy. And almost all investors are following this strategy to invest their money or to save their money. And the way that they normally do is they think they're taking action by getting to a consultant or read do some Google searches or YouTube. I see this is famous nowadays. People do a couple of YouTube and then they know everything in order to help them to make investment decisions. So your action then becomes by signing a contract stating that they can basically, that is the financial industry, that they can basically do whatever they want with your money within their mandate, and that you are willing to take all the financial risk. That is literally what you do, but we don't think about that when we do that. So by doing this, you agree basically that you're not going to take any responsibility over that money because you can't. And therefore, you're not going to take any responsibility for the outcome of what they're going to give you. Whatever they're going to give you, it's fine with you. And then all you have to do is basically sit back, and maybe hope a little bit that your money is going to save you, or that it's going to work for you, or that it's going to give you a little bit of a growth. Now, option 2 is the Wealth Creators investment strategy, as we've said. But here you have to take responsibility. So first of all, let's look at the Wealth Creator strategy, because the investment strategy is basically based on this Wealth Creator strategy. The Wealth Creator strategy, the definition for that is the intelligent use of limited resources to go from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest possible time with the least amount of risk. And this is what a lot of people don't get. Wealth creators do not take risk. That is why I started this with just 100 Rand instead of 500,000 Rand. I'm not going to be stupid to take 500,000 Rand from somewhere else and try to, no, why do I need to do it if I've got the skills to start with less than 100 Rand? Right. So risk, we don't understand risk. A risk, according to Warren Buffett, is when you do not know what you're doing. And the majority of people, by following the first option, have got no idea what they're doing, because they take their money that they've worked for, give it to someone else, give their responsibility away, take all the risk, and then they've got no control over the growth whatsoever. And that's the last thing that I want to do. I'm not sure about you, but I don't want to follow that one. So how do you overcome this? You have to learn the 4 high-value financial skills that you are basically learning at the moment, because the first high-value mental skill, one of the skills is you have to take action, but you have to take the right action, because there's a massive difference between the right and the wrong action. And that is to invest in yourself, which you are busy doing. And the majority of people will never listen to videos like this or educational programs like this. They simply will not do that. Once you've got that in place, now the other 3 high-value investment or financial skills are going to make sense, okay? But again, it comes back to you have to learn those skills, because we are not born with those skills and no one else is going to teach us those skills. So the first one is high-value income skill. This is an incredible skill to have, but the negative side of that is that you are selling your time. In other words, the problem with this skill is that you have to be involved the whole time. So you're actually selling your time. You can make a lot of money, but you sell your time, and time is limited. Now, the next skill is high-value business skill. And this is where your business is working for you. The problem with this one is that if something happens with the business, then your money disappears, basically. Right. Plus, there's something else that we do not get. We think that if we're in business, like if you're a medical doctor or an attorney or someone like that, or a plumber, or you think that you've got your business. But from a study that I've seen in America is that 96% of business owners is a one-man show. In other words, you think it's the same as having a high income skill, but you've put a business around that. And most of the time it's for protection, especially in America. Right. So I'm talking about the real business skills where you can walk away from the business and the business continue. Now, very few people here in South Africa, for example, in America have got that skill because we can see it's less than 4% of all the businesses in America. And I think the same thing applies here in South Africa. The next one is high value investment skills. And this is what I will focus on if I were you and I started off, especially if you've got a little bit of a surplus. Right. So, and there I invest in myself in terms of mental skills. I invest in business as a business to grow the business and to exit the business in a specific way. I love real estate or property, and then of course I love cryptocurrencies as well. But that is from the surplus that we generate, and then that investment. So it's a growth on a growth, if I can put it to you that way. And this is powerful stuff. But the negative is I have to take responsibility. No one else is going to do it. On top of that, it is not quick. The reason for that is you first have to master the skills. So to become successful, I need to get the right information in the right order for the level of the game that I'm at, and then I have to apply it to see if I've got the skill, because the results are going to show me if I've got the skills, yes or no. Okay? So, and that can take, depending on who you are, anything from 3 months to about a year to start seeing serious results. Of course, with the investment like cryptos or property, the results can be seen very quickly, but that's not the full picture, right? So what are the actions that you can take to become an investor if we talk generally? Your actions is going to depend and will depend on the strategy that you want to follow. So if you want to follow the first option, that is an opportunity seeker investment strategy, then there's not a lot that you have to do. Basically, you have to decide, okay, this is the amount of money that I'm going to invest, and then you have to take the action to contact a financial planner, broker, advisor, or an expert, and then maybe do a little bit research on him or her, and then a way to do it is maybe ask your family or friends if they can give you a good referral, and then phone the person. That's action. Make the appointment, and then most of the time they will even come to your house or your business premises. So it's very convenient to follow this strategy. They are then going to get the information, do a needs analysis, a risk assessment. They're going to do their homework, present you with a lot of different options, normally 2 or 3. And all you then have to do is to take action by deciding which option is going to be best for you. And then the action that you take is to sign the contract, agreeing with their terms and conditions, and then give them the check. And then, whoops, you sit back and hopefully you're going to make it. Now, as I've said before, this is by far the most popular option. And the chances are that you have done it before, so I don't actually have to go into this. And you know exactly what to do, because the chances are you've got a pension fund, a provident fund, a retirement annuity, a unit trust, or a fixed deposit, or a 401k, or a superannuation, depending on wherever you may be in the world. Or if you're in America, you're going to have mutual funds and stuff like that. Right, so most of the people, 98% of the people that I'm dealing with, is in that position where they've done it. But most of them also realize, but flip it, this thing is not working, okay? And they're looking for alternatives. And maybe this is one of the reasons why you are here and that you're following me. Now, there's something additional that I just want you to think for maybe a moment if you want to follow this strategy, just to know what it is that you're doing. Remember that all the brokers or trusted financial advisors, especially the better ones, are highly trained to sell their products. That's the skill that they have to master. And if they haven't got that skill, they're not going to make a living. So, unfortunately, their opinions are almost always based on how much commission or fees they can make from that sale, from your money. In other words, they're going to tell you what you want to hear, and then their advice will be based on the types of investments they are licensed to sell, because there's a limit on how many accreditations they can get, right? So it's going to depend on the types of investment that they are licensed to sell. Otherwise, well, they're not going to get any commissions. And I'm not 100% sure that it's always what is best for you. So even though they may know of better investments, if they're not licensed to sell that, they cannot sell that, and therefore they cannot make money. The option number 2, that is the second option, that's a wealth creators investment strategy. But with this option, I need to warn you that it's not an easy option, because first of all, you must take full responsibility for the investments that you're going to make. And we are not conditioned to think that we can do it ourselves. We think it's very difficult. It's not, But that's our belief system, and therefore most people are not going to even try it, and therefore they do not want to take the responsibility. And the responsibility is to learn the skills that you need in order to invest your own money, because you will find that this information from the financial industry, they're not going to give it to you. It's that simple. Now, there are ways to make it, of course, easier to get started and to speed up the process if you want to go for the second option, and that is to find a mentor where he or she has done it already. They can prove that, and as I've said, they've got systems that you can learn how to speed this process up, because all skills are teachable and learnable, as I've said. But again, first check them out, make sure that they can deliver and that they can do that you want to achieve in your life. Now, here's a general tip on taking action if you want to become a successful investor, especially on the second option, the wealth creator strategy. So unless you're going to take massive action, nothing is going to happen. And massive action is basically what separates the dreamers from the people who make their dreams a reality. So the key then to do in taking massive action is to create a sense of urgency about taking action. If there's no urgency, and this is why in the webinar you're going to find, I'm going to give you this Powergoal book, and the why in terms of goal setting is that urgency, the fuel that's going to put you in a position where you say, okay, I need to do this, and I need to do this as quickly as possible because the why is strong enough. And you can do this with respect to any goals, projects, any other items to do. And the reason for that is I've seen that it's easy to get stuck too long in the planning phase. You can sit around writing and rewriting your goals and working through emotional blocks or summoning the power of the universe to help you. But if you don't actually do what needs to be done, you're wasting your time. And I see this analysis paralysis with a lot of people, especially analytical people. They plan for the rest of their lives, but they don't actually take action. Now, when's the right time to take massive action towards achieving your goal? Is it when you put a flawless plan in action, or a flawless strategy, or maybe when you've mastered yourself or your insecurities or your emotions, or maybe when you retire? Can you see all these excuses? No. The best time to take action towards making your goals a reality is right now. Today, now, right. And the only way to start taking action is to create a massive sense of urgency that will literally light a fire under your backside and propel you into action. So no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how good you plan, no matter how incredible your goal, if you don't develop urgency about taking actions today to start doing what needs to be done, you will never get what you want. And if you want to be successful, you need to take the action that normal people, those category 1, the option 1, what they will not even attempt. So here's the test. Why do you not take massive action right now? By simply clicking on the link in the description area below the video. So book your seat, that is taking action. But that is only a portion of the action. Then you have to make sure to attend my next free 500K challenge webinar. That is where the action, and then you have to sit and listen and take notes during that. So I guarantee that that's going to be the best action that you can take if you are serious about investment success. So maybe it's a challenge to you. Now, if you found value in this video, then please make sure to give me that thumbs up, to like it. By doing that, you're going to help this video in terms of the algorithm that YouTube is using to get this out, this process, to more and more people out there, and then maybe they can also discover the truth about money, investments in the economy. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel by clicking that subscription button, and then ping the bell icon so that you can be the first to know when the next training video is available. So let me know also in the comment section, what actions are you going to take today, or maybe tomorrow, or one day, to make your dreams come true. Share that with us. It would be fun to read that. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you then in the next episode.